Hi there, welcome to Friday's market commentary. I've got a chart here of the S&P 500 up, and I think I have to say that I'm just a little bit surprised by how much we actually did sell off over the last week. S&P 500 down more than 18% over just the last 4 days anyway, but this was the largest 1 week point drop ever on the S&P 500 index. The largest 1 week point drop ever in history on the S&P 500. Extremely bearish week. For the good news is we only sold off about 7 points on Friday because it could have been much worse. And we did see, which is even better, a bit of a rally into the close on Friday. So you can see that we've got resistance all the way back up here right around 1100. Support down here, which was the lows of the day down here about 1139, 1140, or I'm sorry, 840 would be support. So 840 support, resistance up here at around 1100, and you see we're pretty bearish here. But I do have to say that even though we've had the worst 1 week point drop ever in history, that we're going to have to be ready for a bounce pretty soon. We are just so oversold. And more importantly, let's look what happened in the last few minutes of the day. So I'm going to pull up a different chart. Okay, I pulled up, what I've done here is I pulled up a 5-minute chart of the S&P index, and you can see that even though we opened up and we just sold off massive, just sold off, came down here about to 840 level, and then right here about 3:30, about a half hour before the market's close, we went from 840 all the way up to 939 on the S&P, which is just a huge rally, 100-point rally here on the S&P, just gigantic. On any given day, a 20-point rally would be, in a normal market, would be a lot. So we went from minus about 500, almost 400 here on the index, to plus 100 over 100 up on the index, and then pulled back about 100, and then we pulled back about 7 points short on the index. So we had just this huge rally on the index. The Dow was down about 400, and then the Dow during that same rally was up about 150 up on the same rally, and then came back down and closed down about 130 or so. So you can see there was just huge rally through here. So what that tells me coming into the last part of the day is that buyers were buying on a Friday and into a Friday with this bad market we have, which means that they think that there's the chance the markets are oversold, ready for a rally, or that the government or somebody else is going to step in. There's going to be some positive news or something else going to help try to boost the markets up again, which is going to cause the markets to open higher on Monday. So what that tells me is that I'm not quite as bearish as I was just a few days ago on the markets. Now that it looks like we're ready for a rally, and this huge rally that we had here coming here just for the last half hour of the day, just gigantic, which is equal to about a 500 point. It's equal to about a 500 point move on the Dow. This whole rally right through here was just extremely bearish. So what that tells me, I'm going away from bearish on the S&P 500. And I'm going to move maybe to short-term neutral. Longer term still bearish, but I'm going to go short-term neutral on the S&P 500. We've got let's go back on our charts again. Support around 840 and resistance at around 1100 on the S&P 500. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. And here's chart of the NASDAQ, and we see it closed up a little bit. Not very much, but closed up just barely here. So we closed up about 4 points on the NASDAQ, pretty close to where it closed the previous day. So even after it pulled back and hit a low here at about 1545, we're going to call that support 1545 on the NASDAQ. Even though it came back, hit a low, it rallied back up and actually closed in the positive territory before the end of the day. So a lot of the tech stocks are actually having a much better time here than the NASDAQ is having. So we're going to go on this one here, short-term neutral, longer-term a little bearish on here. And we're going to call resistance down through here at this level's at about 1900. So we're going to call resistance on the NASDAQ pretty close to 1900 and support at 1545. So short term we're going to be neutral on the NASDAQ, expecting the bounce now, and longer term we're still bearish since we haven't come back up into a sideways pattern yet. I hope that helps. Keep an eye on news. News has a tendency to change everything. Remember, we're moving right now into earnings season, and that could create a lot more volatility on the marketplace. But it looks like we've had such heavy selling that we're going to have this quick oversold bounce pretty soon. All right, best of wishes to you.